Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mughals series. I mean, the series is still called Daily Mughals, but never forget of your origins. You were Sirhind, then you became Delhi Sultanate, and now the ever-expanding Mughal Empire, or Mughals simply known as. But here's the thing. We've been expanding extremely aggressively, which we are currently coring all these provinces that we have captured. Which means there's a lot of rebellions that are ongoing here. So we are deploying them at the most to send everybody to their places to put down any rebellion that there is. There's no need to provoke revolts, otherwise you'll be killing off the manpower that you're still trying to recover, though you are recovering nicely though. Keep that in mind. But if that's what they want, we can either put them down but keep in mind, since this is the age of absolutism, which fortunately we already have two achieved. But there is one more that I could do, and that is own at least 5 universities, building universities. Which we do have the money for it, but as much as I would like to, build that over certain areas like here, and there, all these areas. Particularly the ones that, deserve the most. The most valuable of cities, one would think. But all that money is going to be used, unfortunately, to root out corruption, as well as army maintenance. And a reason why all this is happening, because our stability isn't as high as they used to because of death of rulers and a few other things. So, I'm sure we'll get to work on it. Speaking of which, it's about damn time. Alright. The Brahmins claim that our nation's governing capabilities are stretched to the breaking point. They contend we must pause to consolidate before attempting further conquests. By how much? Of course. The Mansabdars at Tehut urge us to build a new army training recruitment centers in the province so that our supply of high-quality recruits to the army may be more secure. A regimental camp there and increases base manpower, even though you're already loyal enough to us. And as for the Rajputs, they want Tripura. And that's also for administrative power. And I kinda need that administrative power to get this stability up again, but that overextension is increasing the stability cost modifier. But I'll tell you what, we will be dealing with these rebellions all over the country until October of next year. On the 18th of October, stabilize the country. We are so far ahead of time, and it would be most wise to use that to increase stability. So we'll go for the Brahmin proposal. And plus, our truce with Gujarat will expire in 5 years' time, so we got plenty of time. So, you've got it. Tegura do Parvanda. Again, we got those because we have permanent claims over there. Because we have to secure the Hajj ports. And there's some monetary reward with that. We don't have claims to all areas, but that will change. Of course, next month. Again, the war's just recently over. Our agent's been discovered. We'll use that to slander merchants simply for the sake of it. That'll hurt their trade power, knowing that they're into trade ideas and it's part of their traditions. Yeah. We want to dominate the Gujarat trade node, which isn't as valuable right now, but in time. In time. So, get ready to put him down. Malvi people have been assimilated by our government. Of course. We're working on the Western Aryans. And also, I gotta plan on integrating those two. Come back. Because of that too many relations thing. So, it isn't getting me anywhere. Why do I even have military access with you? We're gonna be at war soon. Okay. Let's improve relations with you. And once that's done, begin integration. That's me over there. While meanwhile the Bamanis are fighting Vijayanagar, which will favor for us. Because they have the manpower, they not so much. Although, by the looks of things, it's pretty even. As long as they keep killing each other, that's fine. The advantage goes to us. There's one. Handle them. To your post. We'll be taking casualties bit by bit. Putting down all these separatists. Over here. Gujarati. This way. It's the Rajput army, led by Man Singh. Anyone else? That's gonna be your jurisdiction. And that's gonna be for you. Well done. Trying to get this soon, but that institution tech penalty isn't helping. But if I have the money to embrace this, we would most definitely would. In fact, edicts. Spread it. Faster that way. It's in the works. Wouldn't be surprised if I get global trade before I go get printing press, which would be helpful. But it's not really present in the country yet. And after all, we made this to a World Trade Center here, the future capital. And a little more stability would be nice. It also helps with the institution spread. Also, in the meanwhile, we're trying to lower the devastation here. That's the reason why we built that castle in the first place. Because it's for that other mission. The Grand Trunk Road. Everything's complete except for the East Bengal area. Get ready. I mean, I do want to give more privileges because, you know, that mission requires the Ulema and Brahmins' loyalty to be up to 60 as well as their influence. As well as have a great mosque. Which, of course, that won't be available to a much later time. Got it. About to go off anytime soon. But things will get slightly easier. Well, just wait till later this year, alright? And then after we're done with the coring of the provinces, stabilize the country, for God's sakes. In fact, that influence part of the yellow, that's going to be a lot harder. So, acquiring education, theology, and law is a long process involving the studying the classical works of law under the tutelage of the sheikhs of various madrasas. For every work or commentary learned, the student acquires a certificate in ijaza. Depending on what the madrasa, which sheikh, and the word for the ijaza may not necessarily be the same. A specific learned man has lately been making a very good impression on the madrasas around the country. There's no doubt he has a great career as a qadi or mufti ahead of him. A statesman. That's the guy. Keep that one in mind when he passes. The Lemma have no influence at all. Which I'm sure one day I'm going to start appealing to them again. Perhaps sooner. Two more. About to be finished. Well, just only Kandesh. This'll do. There we go. There's your loyalty and there's your administrative power. That's definitely needed for stabilizing the country a bit. All you need is 190. Which absolutism has increased a bit. So it increases by 1 when you increase stability like that. Plus that'll calm some of them down. So you start seeing some of that go away. Good. Anyways, in Venice, various advances in the field of ironwork have meant the iron cannon is now both more efficient and reliable than the old bronze cannons, as iron products are also increasingly replacing copper in other fields, such as for for mealtime utensils. Price covers the drop, while the demand for iron is on the rise. We have the highest trade power in Doab, Bengal, Lahore, Gujarat, and Lhasa. Good to know. Now, there's about to be company here. If any at all. And state religion not dominant. I mean, loyalty is the thing, but its influence is what I'm more concerned of. We know it's a Hindu majority country for them, but still. How to get this up there? That's the real question. The only thing I could say is, well, that's for the monthly piety. But it gives them more influence, but I'll give them this privilege. As well as the oversight for the level. So I'm sure that this may backfire on me in future. Because I don't often do such things. But I'm not giving away crownlands. I see. Even though we have a habit of converting, but we're just trying to make things easier. But this is for a lot more religious unity contribution as an alternative to humanist ideas, which would have been nice to have, and would have caused the Browns to stay loyal to us much more. So we'll consider. Not making as much right now, as we're still rooting out corruption because of the unbalanced research, corrupt bureaucracy and all that. No worry, once we secure more Gujarat. What timing? This will help. National tax modifier means, you know, increased income. You'll do. Wish there was someone more effective. Plus, I need that monthly increase. Anyone else? You got 4 years. For future reference. I'll spy on Gujarat instead. Don't have a claim on you. This one is a reduction of technology cost, but it gives us a lot more money if we start going more towards that way. Not terribly concerned about the Brahmins' loyalty since we completed one of the missions for them. But the more you go towards it, then well, does it really matter? Just move a little more towards mysticism, because knowing that you're going to go to war against Gujarat, what's left of them, you know they're of an Sunni faith, so mysticism will still increase no matter what. What the heck? A jihad against Manipur. And is guaranteed by Ming. No. No, they're not. Manipur's right next to us. Though I do have a claim against them. It's for Chittagong. Sure. We already have one army present there. Take Chittagong and we'll take the fort and try to knock these guys out of the war. And maybe give us Chittagong, since we have a claim to that. If it was a fabricated one, anyhow. And it's also part of that Bengal center trade. A lot of centers trade in Bengal. That's a Lapigu. You're being dispatched there. We're only sending these two, we'll keep them here. You sure you're doing the right thing? Yeah, well, as I said, come on down here. Need your support. These are both siege experts. Well, there's them over there. Stabilize. Alright, let's see. This is gonna go away. So will this one. Oh, that one will definitely go away now. Head to them to take care of that uprising. You remain there. We'll commit to this conflict. We're going up there. Just to help out the Bahmanis a little. Always in a fighting mood. Ever since the 13th century, spectacles made from glass lenses have come to replace the reading stones of older eras. Through thorough optical observations, these lenses have now reached a level of perfection that has allowed even the smallest things to be enlarged. To the delight of the scholars, these new lenses can also be used to create both optical microscopes, allowing it to examine what could never be seen before, and the refracted telescope allowed to study faraway objects such as the stars. The field optics are now at the brink of revolution, bringing great benefits to both science, navigation, and warfare. Good for them. Defeat the Manipuri army. "4 years. Pointing at Gujarat. As you were. Still in the works. Rigorous researchers. Academic institutions are not immune to corruption, and a profit that can be made by abusing positions of great influence can stand in the way of creating a good environment for research. However, Mughal scientists are largely above this, focusing on genuine intellectual achievements above titles and financial contributions. The lack of corruption in society allows us to explore and invent without being impeded by selfish interests. The search for knowledge must be valued in itself. Still working on it. Coming to get you. Okay, now we can enact government reform. Theocracy in a republic, Mughal Empire, makes no sense. But for me, I'm kind of divided between administrative possible policies, which means that I could have more of these, of that kind, for these slots, but of course it's going to cost you. But I'm more inclined to go for this, political absolutism. The best of the state is best served through the realization of the plans and will of its monarch. A true and enlightened monarch can then utilize its full capacity to undertake the many changes needed to ensure prosperity. Yearly absolutism will start going up, as well as the maximum. So we've unlocked all the government reform trees. And that settles it then, unless I wish to change something. If I ever change my mind on things. In other words, yeah, the max is 39, but it'll start going up bit by bit. Which of course increases a tiny bit of discipline, and foreign core duration takes less. So that's why I went with that. Because I've been giving privileges. And it could be a hindrance. Plague! Oh, hell. Spend the money on that. Got them all. Yeah, you got them. Head back. Head back down here. Get ready to make your advance. In fact, get a head start. It's fallen. There's never been any theological differences or real conflict between the Hanafi and the Jafari schools, and both customs often exist side by side. A long-lasting cooperation of the Mughal Hanafi and the Jafari Bahmani states has, however, led to newer mutual understanding and respect. God is great. Now move up and take the capital quickly before we go to the next fort, and one more, and then they're out of the war, and give me Chittagong. That's all I ask. If you don't give me Chittagong, then I will fight them directly again, and them too. Willing to do anything to get more trade power. But it's not necessarily going to increase its trade value. But it's in the works. Yeah, keep throwing more bodies in here. You know what, might as well. Hey! No, 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 not Europe. Integration. When they're at war. Ah, of course. Of course. Had your chance. Is that a sign that our old monarch died a little too soon? There goes Shah Jahan. Our heir is not quite ready to assume the role of monarch. Mumtaz will now be ruling our nation until our heir comes to age. We'll still be able to declare wars. He was leading that army. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. He's only 6. He's nowhere near being ready. But still a naive enthusiast, like Shah Jahan. Babur's got a long ways to grow up, but we won't be getting as much. But I would say Babur's a slight improvement to the Padishah Begum regent. That means, oh hell, there's going to be uprisings again. I laugh with nervousness. All together now. It's gonna be rolling for 9 years. Share some music. That's our man there. General's dying out. Should be over soon. If we can get another one of their forts down. And Manipur will be out of the war. If we can get their war enthusiasm lower enough. We got him. Manipur is out. They did give us Chittagong, as promised. Thank you. Yep, Chittagong. Well, our war is over. We did our part. Now hurry up and end that war of yours. You got what you want. The jihad is complete. That's because you have that religious ideas. That's why you did it. Good gains. Thanks for the money. Speaking of which, it ain't much. Neither do they. But hey, every little bit helps. Now let's annex this. Annex/integrate. It'll be done on the same year as when we will declare war of Gujarat. Get that back up. Because we're still ahead of time there. Of all the trading powers, which one has the strongest? $26.5, 19, 26. Okay, this land here. Upgrade this. That's what we're gonna spend our money for. And obviously this needs a lot more development to make it a A world port. This is the area that I tend to make this a world port. So obviously this place needs to be developed a lot more, which I'll have that in the works. Despite the tropical environment here. Yeah, it's all tropical. Yeah, not as good as I had hoped, but when the autonomy is lowered, and then get a lot more. And then we'll have it. Do you know what? Simply for the sake of it. That too. Oh, it's not yet in a state. Okay. It doesn't cost much. It costs about 200. Do you know what? Do that for all. For the areas that you currently possess. And Chittagong will be coming up soon. Might as well. Okay, 2 less developed. Same for Ajma. Ajma Suba. Yeah, I guess we can develop that a little. If time allows. You don't do it twice. 1 sec. There you go. Put it here. You could develop it more as you like. And just to keep our strength, because Bukhara is trying to catch up. Well, there you have it. Market town. And since this is your vassal, you can upgrade it yourself. Oh, I don't own. Okay. Never mind. Which, that one I'll have to integrate one day. And since you own Surat and it's development 10, a little more trade power in order to be sure that we better damn well dominate the Gujarati trade node. Hold on. Hey, good sir. Phew. Whew. Yeah. It doesn't sound like much of a sneeze, but I sneezed. I don't know how you Muslims or Hindus, like when somebody sneezes, like how we in the West, in the Christian West, we say, bless you, or Gesundheit as an alternative. Is there an equivalent of that for over there in India? Because I didn't think about that until just now. That's where we decide to invest. More trade power and local development cost. In case you want to develop something. And since one day we will also integrate Orissa, we will have another level 2 coastal center trade. Just to be sure that we must dominate the trade nodes that we control. Sure, it did not increase the income, but just having a lot of trade power does not mean you'll be getting a lot of income from that. Doesn't always mean that. What you need is to increase the trade value. And need to increase such a value as that. Well, this for example. Well, it's local goods produced. That's what it needs. Like here for example, and the production of it totally produced, you need workshops. As well as subsequent lowered autonomy. that we're trying to do here. But whenever I make more fortune, Bengal Delta here will be a world port. Or maybe Dhaka. That one's slightly more developed in Dhaka than Bengal Delta. But it could be improved upon. When you build universities, yeah. You should invest on universities. Non-Brahmin religious movements. No uprising. The Brahmins have traditionally had a monopoly on Hindu religious authority, but occasionally religious movements emerge that challenge Brahmanism. Such movements are becoming popular throughout the Mughal Empire in spite of the Brahmin efforts to suppress them. Exponents of popular religion argue that the Brahmins have wiped off the sacred marks from the foreheads and eschewed their spiritual responsibilities in order to occupy seats of temporal power and mete out the injustice of the poor. They declare that selfless devotion is the only path to salvation, a virtue that can be attained by any sufficiently fervent Hindu. A group of influential Brahmins have approached the Padishah Begum region, pleading for her aid in restoring the confidence in Brahmin authority and suppressing non-Brahmin Hindu movements. A fraction of all Hindu-owned provinces, roughly equal to land share bonds, they get lower autonomy, but, well, we know we're going to be dealing with uprisings, so make it happen, no matter what. We're going to put him down. If any of them dare. Despite the full stability, we're willing to put down separatists, wherever they may be. What's going on your war? You have not taken the objective. You took it back somehow. You there, stop. Got him. Chittagong is ours. Has to be a state. There you go. Level 2. That's it. Remember, invest in universities. Because one day we want to have a golden era for the Mughal Empire. That reminds me. Yeah, we're still integrating. Because we're trying to get this off of us. Barely. It's gonna be a very long time before we actually embrace that. I fear they may cross the border, so I better stop that. Improvements in production technology. Spare no expenses. No. That's in preparation to crush Bengal. Of course Vijayanagar is at it again. On who they're guaranteeing independence to. Gujarat and Malwa. War's over. And it appears that Vijayanagar won this war. I can tell because they took a little bit of territory, if any. Unless I wasn't paying attention. Oh, anytime you face Vijayanagar, you have to step up to the plate. Be ready for the next year. Just as many members of the ulama have developed Sufi leanings, many of our Sufi orders have likewise come to extol the virtue of the pious life living in corners of the Sharia. Despite disapproved voices of both extremes, we managed to strike a balance between mysticism and legalism. Our realms currently enjoying the fruits of moderation and tolerance of different religious practices. God is good again. One of our most famous and respected mates approached Mumtaz this morning, was stating his concern about the state of Monument, my dear Padishah Begum Regent. It breaks my heart to see such a beautiful structure carelessly abandoned, left to alone face dangerous time. But I beg you, please allow me to help restore it. In Herat. That's the Buddhist statues. Of course, it's useless to us, so do not have time for that. You get a new one for discipline, but just before the war, right? Just need to get a little bit of income out of that. Brahmins are loyal to us now, unless they haven't and I wasn't paying attention. Okay. The Mansabdars can't help be tempted by the vulnerable target presented our neighbors in Pegu. Our push for a military carrying to bring them under our dominion. Well, I do have interest in that area. The entrepreneurs of Jains and Purnia asked that we invest in their province's production infrastructure. They claimed that expanded facilities that would, in purpose would greatly increase the prosperity of the province and the country as a whole. The Rajputs calls for us to strengthen our fortifications of good. They argue it's imperative that we protect this key strategic position from attack. It's base 1 manpower, you get loyalty out of that. This is subjugation. And that is to build a workshop and put it in. Every little bit helps. Too bad it's not the Brahmins nor the ulama. Just go for this. Purnia. Where's that at exactly? Over here. Workshop it is. Also home of a textile manufactory. That'll help its trade value. Still in the works. Do. Again, the alternative is that other privilege regarding guaranteed Brahmin autonomy. That local religious unity contribution, minus 100. Does that mean that we can no longer convert and a couple of other things? Man Singh, he's our best general ever. You dare insult us? Well, I'll get you one day. One day. Almost there. 1620 seems to be. Has seen a fine harvest and an excellent environment for traders and entrepreneurs. Prove blessed for the nation's tax base, generating higher income for the realm. Excellent. This October, Gujarat is next, and we will fight against Vijayanagar again. But they're significantly smaller and weaker. But I don't aim to take any territories. Hey, what are you doing? Get back here. Again, do have a claim there, and claim there. We will annex what's left of Bengal, since we have to declare war against Gujarat, so we'll be fighting all of them. But I'm not terribly worried. And I guess the Bahmanis did a number on them. So that's what's gonna happen. A quick elimination of Bengal out of the war and out of our lives. And after the Gujarati conflict, then we'll fight against Malwa, which will happen much later. And also, it's about to be finished. The annexation. Here's your trade efficiency and range. Still not ahead of time. Well, you better get yourself a general. Lot of maneuver, but less shock and fire. And we need all the talent that we can get. But the problem is they won't be as drilled as they used to because we spent a great deal of time worried about separatism. So this may be a bit of a handicap to us. Hopefully one that doesn't lead to disaster. Just this once. Been hesitant on that. But the cavalry combat ability, a Mughal specialty, we would definitely be up there. Anyways, the custodianship of Chankansur. With each year, the holy city of Chankansur has seen an increase of number of pilgrims that seek shrines there. The faithful come from all corners of the Islamic world, bringing commerce, goods, capital, news, and ideas from faraway places to our ports. God is good. There's your diplomacy back. Printing press is still not present here. But there is some of global trade that is present. And now it's even reached to Bengali shores. October, remember that. It's complete. Your states now. And there's no need to spend it on cores. Also, get rid of them. The numbers that we have is good enough. There's no need to increase it. Unless we have the money that can afford such maintenance. And it should also be noted that we still do not have a navy. But after this war with taking of Gujarat and all of what's left of the Bengal Sultanate, then we'll create a navy. A navy that's probably not strong enough to take on Vijayanagar, but a navy nonetheless. Light ships and heavy ships. No galleys, no transports. I'm okay with marching all the way there when we fought against Malacca like the last few times. Which I'm sure we will again in the future. And don't forget universities. You're gonna need universities. Where? Oh, there it is. Two more months. Even though our army's not as drilled as they used to. There's your loyalty from the Jains, thus reducing the development cost. Of course, all that influence from the Ulema, despite the lacking of it with the Rajput Hinduism and theists and all that. Yeah, we're gonna... 1630s, we're gonna have to change. Start appealing to the Ulema more. We have antagonized them for many years and we feel sorry for that. Because we've built ourselves on tolerance, even though we still convert. You know, we still convert the country pretty heavily. It's time. Alright. Let's begin. To Gujarat. Come on. will be the main objective. Vijayanagar, Bengal will be there. That doesn't scare us. Attack. Cover us. Take the area. Meanwhile, blitz them. Of course they'll get away, but we'll get them in time. Of course, bringing no allies with us. We're just that confident that we could take them on. Help with the siege. Come on, you too. Cover us. And we'll get Khandesh as well. Dogpile on them. But don't underestimate Vijayanagar. They're still growing in size. But they'll get bigger and bigger. They still got their very good general out there. Where do they get such talent? Offensive ideas, that's why. Why are they standing there? We got him. Now we gotta take the war to Vijayanagar. And be sure to take Thalna. We don't have a claim there, but every little bit helps. Just to try to fabricate a few claims up there that we do not have claims to, despite our relevant objective. You are out. In a moment. Split up. What do you say? Move back. Now, what do you say again, Bengal? You want to give up? Yes. I know it's very early in this war, but still. We just want you out of the map and out of our lives. And we'll be coring these as well. It'll cost you only 39. But it's still early. But we still got time. And so therefore, mission complete. Conquest of Orissa is complete. So we get Gujarat recruitment, so infantry will cost less, but our infantry combat ability goes up a bit. Thus completing this branch here. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Gotcha. Let's begin our advance. Proceed with caution. We're gonna eventually... I mean, we're not here to take these territories. We have no claims there. Just only Thalner and these bits. That's it. No more than that. As the war is still relatively early. And we don't want to get carried away here. Because you know such military disasters we have in the past that we do not want to wish bear repeating. Of course they would. They would probably get mercenaries if they keep that up. So we don't see each other eye to eye. Pull back. Don't advance too far. Excellent. Stick together. Stick together and we'll come out on top. There's the main army. Save that. Don't use that idea. As much as I would like to. But you know we're terribly behind on these two technologies. But to be fair, you're getting it a bit slowly. Adopt the global trade. Good. That means you'll spread that over here, will you? Please do. Bring it over here. If only I had this high amount of money, whereas that's yet to be present in the land of the Afghans. Don't even think about it. You go for it. You're the siege expert here. We got you covered. Get ready. We'll engage him soon. Move up. Attack here. So you two come with us. We'll crush them here. Using all of our strength. That got him. Who's the man with the siege skill? Not you. You. Just spreading out. Like a squad. Not quite. But you get the idea. Engage them here. They have low morale. Took advantage of that. You're going nowhere. Our recent wars have given rise to competent leaders, even from the peasant stock. We could prosper from their skills or reject them as they are, after all, not noble. Accepting them may upset factions in our country, though. Damn. What is our army tradition like? It's pretty up there. But are we that terribly worried regarding stability? But the Mansabdar's loyalty won't like that right now. No, Mughals needs them all. Get it back up. Can't advance here. You go in. Yeah, we have you surrounded. Can't advance beyond this point. War enthusiasm is not yet low. We're gonna keep taking these there until they feel they need to surrender. Knocking their capital down would be very beneficial. That got him. We've taken their capital. Move on. I guess the future Deccan campaign for the Mughals will be a lot easier for us. Knowing that we have the manpower to, you know, cover all this landscape. Trading in silk happened to us. Maximum promoted cultures of 1. Where did that come up? Let me see. Is it because you occupy all the territories that are relevant to silk, or is it this? Who knows? We do have all the territories, including these spices. Yeah, when did that come up? Let me see. Here it is. We have 21.10% of the silk trade in the world. As long as it's above 20, we'll retain the bonus. Ah. Well, don't you worry. Because, you know, when we control more areas of that silk trade, especially when we get up to Assam, and further down the line, in future. You ready to quit? But I will keep advancing on you until you do. And then we'll start talking. We're just here to punish you. Help him. Will you? No. Get him over here. He's the one with the siege skills. It's almost like we're opening the door to them. Looking at them. Going in after him. Dangerous to be doing that. Get back over here. Well, we can't advance beyond this point. Caribbean. For centuries, coffee has been a product exclusively grown and exported from Yemen and Ethiopia. The merchants of Yemen in particular have had such a strong grip over the coffee trade that they've gone to great lengths to stop anyone from bringing the plant across their borders. Just as the silkworm once traveled along the trade routes, so too has the coffee plant come to be in the possession of our merchants. The plantations in Bayamo have begun to produce a significant amount of coffee, making beans much more readily available. Good for them. This is much helpful. But quite honestly, since we are very aggressive expansionists, administrative efficiency should be the one. Because why? I'll tell you why. Administrative efficiency is gained from high levels of administrative technology. It is a measure how effective your nation is at integrating foreign provinces, reducing the overextension impact and core creation costs of non-core provinces, making it cheaper to conquer lands in wars. However, it will also increase the administrative burden on colonial nations, increasing their liberty to desire. We ain't that terribly worried. That's why I went for that first. And after this war, I am gonna get me some universities. There. Open season. Would you mind giving him a hand? You're the siege man. Stop to the printing press. Basically, all the way. They can't go to Lanka. They got that closed. But it does demonstrate how far we are willing to go. 99% war score. We could stop that war right now. Yeah, we should. You two, pull back. Deal with these separatists. We basically got it from here. Not a co-belligerent war. Let him in. See what happens. That'll stall him. One more suit for the sake of it. We're just left in wake and destruction. Especially with prolonged occupations. But we won't be going over there, so we'll consider this end of hostilities. While we're on our way to take care of the Separatists over there. Alright, begin your withdrawal. Head to there. To Gujarat. I just only want one territory and that's that. I'm not interested in these yet. We have no legitimate claims there. We don't have a claim on that, but it's just this tiny little enclave that would be better connecting. And give me about as much money as possible. And reparations. And humiliate you. Even though it costs quite a bit. And keep in mind, when you humiliate, that's for power projection. Due to having, you know, the least. But if you have 50 power projection, you'll be getting these monarch skills. So that's one of them. No need to pillage. Just only want one province out of them. And then Gujarat is out of here. Including Khandesh too. Want to get that territory as well. Even though no claim there. Doesn't cost much to court. And yes, we have enough money to embrace global trade before we even embrace printing press. But an extra merchant, which I'll be sure to send it to Gujarat, because that's where the money is. Delayed salaries. The campaign in Khandesh has run into some severe logistical problems. As the season for salary payment draws nearer, it's becoming abundantly clear we will not be able to pay for all the troops, as there is simply no way for the money to get them on time. Our generals blame constant enemy raids on baggage train, and they insist to plan everything detail. But the problem is now Mumtaz's to solve. If we only pay a fraction of our troops, many will no doubt desert. We would also choose to pay none of them and tell them to live off the land, but that would likely devastate the entire area. Devastation over the Khandesh area, but lose professionalism. Or just pay the elite troops and you'll have a significant drop of manpower. Which our next big war, which is be against Malwa, won't come anytime soon, so do that. I'll take that hit. I'll take that. Alright. Split up. Get away from each other. 3 provinces. Here, here, and here. And all the money that you got. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else that we can do. You're just gonna fully annex the country. No devastation needed. And nobody has the gumption to form a anti-Mughal coalition. Nobody's gonna be in that right frame of mind. Now let's core them all. too few rivals. Bukhara, I still got a bone to pick with them. And the optional is either Spain, because they're kind of nearby over here. Yeah, that island over there. So that's why we're a bit concerned about Spanish presence. And may possibly enter India to try to form their trade company. Or Ottomans for no reason. As we do not even live anywhere close between each other. So we have the same religious schools, same religion, but there's no reason to be rivals. And plus, they're a match to us. Spain has no navy. What do you mean? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have a navy. That's what it meant. I don't know. It's just only Vijayanagar and Bukhara. I wouldn't mind to fight against Bukhara if I'm ever interested in controlling the Samarkand trade. Then I would. But most importantly, we could finally spend all that money to embrace global trade. That'll help. Yeah, we already have 6 claims, but I need a few more. No longer a valid rival. Damn. And who else then? Spain? I guess Spain. Because they're kind of close to us. Collect trade from Gujarat. Let me see. We'll hear it from them in a month. Against Ming? Are you insane? Well, they're not as strong as they used to. Okay, but don't expect me to send troops over there. I am not coming over there. We'll end this episode very soon. We only collect this much from the trade note. But it's a start. Because who knows, in the future, whenever I unlock, you know, trade ideas. But I'm kind of divided now. Either trade ideas or humanist. I mean, but you could still send merchants to other areas whenever we control the rest of the subcontinent. To other areas that you may wish to. All that. The overextension isn't as terrible now. Thanks to administrative efficiency. You'll be taking care of that one. It's like, yeah, we joined another one of Yarkhan's wars, but I am not sending my troops over there. It's not worth losing our lives over. It's our hills. Oh yeah, that event. This is gonna cause some more problems, but we're gonna suppress the Jain pestilence for 15 years. But this is just to get the Ulema to be loyal to us. But as long as you keep that stability up, that will not be a problem. Sure, you're all happy now, but you just wait till the 1630s where I'll start making up to you. I vow for that. Back away. Not gonna get any worse since we still have not embraced Pretty Press, because it's still nowhere near in our country yet. But do start saving up money to build a bunch of universities, which is again to get more splendor out of it. Absolutism thing, highly unlikely. This is doable. And I'll be sure to go for this next. If you want more of that. But especially this one. Which, by the way, where is it now? Just keep working on it. And you'll be fine. Ah, boy, our efforts to keep peasants in their placement somewhat too successful in recent times. So harsh as our rules, in fact, the destitute are becoming increasingly vocal in their complaints and turning against their landlords, demanding better treatment and conditions. Have to enforce serfdom. Remember, 1630. Fight against Malwa. In the 1630s is when we will start appealing to the ulema again. Give them more influence. And do the same for the Brahmins. Which by that time, this mission will be complete. And in fighting against in that war, that we should have all of this. Actually, this is our chance to take Girna and Porbandar, as these provinces are about to be cored and they don't have much other way of resisting. This is our great chance to have that. Another opportunity presents itself, and we will take minimum casualties at most, as their army is inferior. Yeah, I see that now. Noah, because it's more developed. And plus, that is where that gold mine is located. We'll get another source of income soon. That would help us in the long run. Not as developed as, say, Kosovo in the Croatian playthrough. But in the meantime. Really? The bankrupt. We'll bring them on in. We're sending these two armies over here. You take care of any uprisings that there is. Just 2 more years, Babur, and your rule will begin. Gotcha. Oh, that's a big one. So we don't have to core as much when we acquire these areas soon. We don't have conditional military access. Free manpower. Reduction of core costs and all that. Iron, sugar, cotton. That's what they have over there. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close the episode on that note. Because in the next episode, Junagarth will be ours. And there will be no one to help him. And soon it's going to start going back to more towards legalism. As we have achieved religious unity and live in harmony and all that. Thus having more absolutism in that. But also in that next episode, we'll see what else is going to be on the agenda, even though I would much prefer to help out the dilemma with anything. Where we're just going to have to, as we said, start appealing to them as a way of saying sorry for the past misgivings. That their influence, that they would be of great help. We'll be willing to do anything to help them. Especially, well, that's just loyalty. But we're not in a real mood for conversions right now. But we gave them oversight. So that means they're gonna matter. And all that. Which is part of that mission that we plan on going for this, just to try to get their influence. The ulema influence, especially, as we said, start appealing to them. Stop making them mad. All that and more in the next episode of Mughals, which we will continue our very aggressive expansions, knowing that the coalition against the Mughals will never ever be formed. But soon we will be increasing the levels of technology before we finally go back to start getting more ideas. And this is a must-have. And as well as in the future that we should appeal to either humanists for more religious unity, making conversions a problem, less uprisings, separatism, tolerance of heathens, as in Hindus, and plus idea reduction costs and Brahmins being more loyal. And trade ideas somewhere down the line, knowing we're going to be a rich country one day by, say, 1700. That's what I'm predicting. So we hope you see in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.